brought my family down here almost 40 years ago now, and that was the best thing I think I ever did.
We moved down here in 1976 from New York, lived on Long Island. Came down, was 11 years old, and we packed up the station wagon and moved to the Keys. So it was interesting going from up north snow to South Florida.
And my childhood was vacationing down in the Florida Keys with my parents, and I came down here very young. As a matter of fact, we stayed in Isla Mirada because Marathon at that time was very small, and the whole Keys was small, frankly.
But we moved here and we lived on Treasure Road, just around the corner. And it was a great place to grow up. We lived right here by the beach, and I had a lot of people around town that lived in this area, like Biff Goss from Big Time Bait and Tackle. He was my neighbor. Over here, we had the Chaplin boys, Jamie and Steve. So I had a lot of local cultural people in the community who are still here that I grew up together with. And it was a great place growing up here.
I was up in the New York area and in the electronics business. And, at the age of 34, I retired. And that was quite a career. It was a career in printed circuit board manufacturing. I was proud and thrilled to have built a board which went on the moon lander.
Yeah, my dad, we came here in '76, like I said. My dad was initially going to retire, and after about a year and a half, got bored of doing nothing, and said, I got to do something. I got to find something to do. So he bought what was a Sunoco. It was Don Placard owned it. It was shut down. It was an old Sunoco station. He bought it. He figures, I'm going to buy this gas station. I'm going to fix it up. I'm going to just work a little bit, play, a few hours a day, and just live the dream. But my dad's kind of a workaholic. So he got the place. It turned it into a golf station, a Surfside Golf. And instead of working a couple hours a day, he wound up working 7 days a week, 10, 12 hours a day.
And I bought a local business called Surfside Sitco. And in that local business, which I ran successfully for 28 years, by the way, came a training period for the children and for myself. They worked at Surfside. They would pump gas, they would clean restrooms, they would do all of the things to help Dad and Mom. And Surfside became known as a mini town hall. We had every politician in the entire world come by and ask for my support.
And when I was 13, I started working with my father at the gas station, pumping gas. A lot of people who've been in town a long time always say, I remember you when you used to pump my gas. You could barely reach the gas tank. So we kind of laughed over the years of people that still live here that remember I worked at the gas station, me pumping gas, working there at my dad's filling station.
That's how I really got involved in politics. And, we got so involved in politics that most people forget, but my wife ran for county commission.
And my dad wanted me to take over the gas station, is what he wanted. And I told him I wanted to be a police officer. He was not happy at all. He wanted nothing to do with that.
And I said, you got to be kidding me. You're a police officer. I said, I got a successful business. You're going to make a lot of money. You're not going to get shot at. You're not going to have people yelling at you. You don't have to get up in the middle of the night. You don't want to do that.
But I wanted to be a lawman, and that was what I was focused on.
He went to the police academy, graduated, and has been working for the past at least 25 years to attain his goal, and he did it. And he did it with the help of everyone in Monroe County, and I know he appreciates it, and certainly I do, and I'm so proud of him.
Things went well. I continued to promote up early on in my career. I think I was a patrol sergeant by the time I was 23 or 24 years old, so I was one of the youngest patrol sergeants. And I continued to promote my career up through every rank, every position. And I think as time went up, my father saw that this was something I really liked, I really was good at, I enjoyed, and instead of being upset about it, turned that into being proud of it, and proud of the person I've become, the man I've become, and the officer that I become in the community.
History was made in this last election, and I think it's an important thing to document. And the history was that a father and son were on the same ballot and both won their individual elections. My son, is now the new sheriff. I'm re-elected to the city council for my third two-year term.
A big thing for him to see his son come up to the #2 person of a 565 person agency. Now today we talked about being elected as the sheriff. To him is, I think one of the proudest parts of his life to see his son come from this to the very pinnacle of your career and be the top law enforcement officer for the county. So, it's I'm happy to see a look on his face now.
I thank all of my friends and neighbors, and I want to tell you that as long as I'm alive, I'll keep working for the people of this county and for, as I said, my friends and neighbors, because if I can make their life well and better, that'll reflect and make my own family's life well and better.
Growing here, knowing the needs, knowing the problems, seeing the changes, I think is critical. An outsider coming in would have a hard time trying to grasp and understand Monroe County, incorporated cities, the players, what's happening, what the historical part was, where we've come from, where we're at today, and where we're going tomorrow is really critical.